For years, wood chips have been the go-to mulch for gardeners wanting to lock in moisture and feed their soil. Every permaculture book and gardening forum swears by them. But here's the hard truth. Wood chips decompose painfully slow and often rob your soil of nitrogen while doing it. They can take years before they start building humus, and during that time your plants may struggle. If your goal is to build rich, black, humus-filled soil fast, there's a better way. There's a natural mulch that the old farmers and soil stewards swore by long before wood chips became trendy, and it works 3 times faster to feed soil life and create living humus in weeks, not years. Wood chips are carbon-heavy and biologically one-sided. Let's start with the problem. Wood chips are almost pure carbon. Their carbon-to-nitrogen ratio sits around 400 to 1. That means soil microbes need to pull nitrogen from the soil just to start breaking them down. While that decomposition process eventually builds structure, it happens slowly, and in the meantime, your vegetables and flowers may, well, starve for nutrients. That's why many gardeners notice yellowing leaves or stunted growth after heavy wood chip mulching, especially in the first season. In addition, wood chips favor fungal decomposition. That's great for perennial systems like orchards or forest edges, but not for vegetable gardens, annual flowers, or quick-turn crops that depend on bacterial activity and faster nutrient cycling. What you really need for rapid humus formation is a balanced mulch that includes both carbon and nitrogen, something that feeds bacteria and fungi together, not one at the expense of the other. The mulch that builds humus 3 times faster is, well, fermented grass and leaf mix. The secret mulch isn't exotic. It's already lying all around you. A mix of half-green material, like fresh grass clippings or green weeds, and half-brown material, such as dried leaves or straw, creates the perfect decomposition balance. When these 2 materials are slightly fermented before being applied, the microbial life, just explodes. This process actually mimics how nature breaks down organic matter in meadows and forest floors, moist, compacted layers slowly heating and decomposing under oxygen-rich conditions. Here's how it works. Collect fresh green clippings and mix them with an equal amount of dry leaves or straw by volume. Layer them in a pile about 3 feet high, and lightly water as you go until the mix feels damp, not soggy. Then cover the pile with a breathable tarp or old cloth for 3 to 5 days. During that short fermentation window, beneficial bacteria and fungi colonize the mix. You'll notice a mild, earthy smell and a bit of warmth, signs that the materials are coming alive. This partial fermentation pre-digests the material, so when you spread it as mulch, it continues decomposing rapidly without stealing nitrogen from the soil. Once your fermented mulch is ready, spread it 2 to 3 inches thick over your garden beds. Make sure the soil underneath is moist before applying. It helps microorganisms move upward into the mulch layer. For fast-growing crops like lettuce, beans, or spinach, use a thinner layer around 2 inches. For fruiting plants like tomatoes or peppers, go closer to 4 inches to retain moisture and suppress weeds longer. Within a week, you'll notice the mulch darkening and softening. Worms will start pulling the material down, and by week 3, the bottom layer will already resemble dark humus. The beauty of this system is that decomposition happens right where plants can benefit from it, not in a compost bin somewhere else. Every rainfall or watering leaches microbial-rich compost tea directly into the root zone, feeding the soil continuously. Unlike wood chips, which rely mostly on fungi to break down, this mulch creates a balanced environment where bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and nematodes all thrive together. The greens provide fast-release nitrogen, while the browns build stable carbon. The slight fermentation also introduces lactic acid bacteria and beneficial decomposers that accelerate the process. This combination, really mimics the natural decomposition in pastures, where organic matter breaks down quickly and efficiently into rich black soil. In side-by-side trials done by regenerative growers, this method actually produced visible humus formation 3 times faster than wood chips, and get this, it doubled worm populations within just 1 month. That's because worms, they prefer soft, moist material they can easily digest, and fermented grass leaf mulch gives them exactly that. If you garden in sandy soil, you'll want to increase the brown material just a bit to improve structure and water retention. Now, for clay-heavy soil, it's better to lean a bit more toward green material to keep the mix lighter and more breathable. A 60-40 ratio, 60% greens to 40% browns, works best in compacted or heavy soils because it adds more active bacteria and nitrogen, which really helps loosen up the structure. To make it even more potent, you can add a microbial starter before applying. This can be as simple as a handful of finished compost, worm castings, or even a diluted molasses solution, 1 tablespoon per gallon of water, sprinkled over the mulch after spreading. This honestly jumpstarts microbial populations and accelerates humus formation. Fermented grass and leaf mulch doesn't form the dense, water-shedding mat that wood chips often do. Instead, it breathes, allowing oxygen to reach the soil while still conserving moisture. It also keeps soil temperatures stable and prevents compaction from heavy rain. Over time, it melts into the soil, leaving behind rich organic matter that improves tilth, aeration, and water-holding capacity. Because it breaks down faster, you can reapply every 2 to 3 months during the growing season. Each application compounds the effect. Your soil gets darker, softer, and more alive with every cycle. By the end of 1 season, you'll have soil that looks like it's been fed for years. Traditional composting removes nutrients from the soil-building equation by isolating decomposition in a pile. Wood chips delay nutrient cycling because they decompose too slowly. The fermented mulch method merges the best of both worlds, controlled decomposition that happens in place, feeding soil life continuously. The results speak for themselves. Faster humus formation, more earthworms, better moisture retention, and plants that simply look healthier. Many old European and Amish farmers used this exact system long before modern composting became popular. They understood that soil health comes from constant feeding, not occasional amendments. Their fields stayed fertile because they never let the soil go bare or starve of organic matter. So, if you're tired of waiting years for wood chips to break down, it's time to switch to a mulch that actually feeds your soil now. The fermented grass and leaf mix is simple, free, and proven to build humus 3 times faster. It doesn't rob nitrogen, it doesn't suffocate your soil, and it doesn't require turning or maintenance. Once you try it, you'll see your soil darken and come alive within weeks. Plants grow faster, roots spread deeper, and your garden starts to function like a living ecosystem. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to Soil Doctor and share this video with your fellow gardeners. Let's move beyond slow, lifeless mulch and start using what nature designed. Living material that builds humus, restores soil, and keeps your garden thriving all season long.